Hello and welcome to From Tree to Book Writers Group.
We are your panel. I'm Eliwood.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Overlord Supreme Cat Queen, Sam. This podcast is for writers anywhere on their writing journey, because no matter where you are, as long as you're not writing it wrong.
We're going to do a little chatting about writing, share something about what we're working on, and we'll play some fun games.
Then, at the end of this chapter, we're going to keep each other company during a 25-minute writing sprint that we hope you'll join us for.
Although you can always skip it if you want.
A little business first. Everyone, what are you drinking and what are you drinking it out of? Ellie?
I am drinking some peppermint tea out of my favorite mug, the beautiful green swirly mug.
Beautiful.
Recognize that mug.
It is, when we go to our family vacation home, there is a mug just like it that I decided to get a copy of for my home.
That's awesome.
I was going to say, did you steal it?
I did not. It's
Okay.
actually a very easy
bought it
find on
duplicate.
Amazon. I did. I love it so much.
Well, I actually have run out of, I've already had all of my tea for today, so I'm just drinking seltzer. Store brand seltzer.
Yeah, same.
The best
I'm
brand.
drinking ice water because even though it's coming up on cold fall weather, I cannot go without my ice water.
When I think by the time this episode comes out, it'll be fully winter weather. So
It's true.
It's true.
I mean, as long as you're in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere,
I don't even know what happens.
Speaking of the time when this chapter is airing, yeah, that was a segue. Ellie, we have some very important news to share. Do you want to tell everyone what will have already happened by the time they're hearing this?
What will have already happened is that everyone had a lovely set of holidays. We all said at least one nice thing to a relative that we didn't think we were capable of saying. And my book was published by Hook and Quill Publishing. I'm sorry, Hook and Quill Press. I don't even know the name of the company.
It's fine. It hasn't officially launched yet as when we're recording this, so there's still time to change it to make the episode the source of truth.
That's true. It's
that's
a
fine,
very
right?
exciting couple months ahead. But yes, by the time this episode is out, Bludeye Beach will be available at several sources and links that we're going to include in the show notes.
Do you want to check out Bludeye Beach? A little bit of a spiel as to what it's about?
Yeah, I would talk about Bludeye Beach.
Okay, so Bludeye Beach is the short elevator pitch. Is that main character Edie at 15 years old is going to visit her estranged father for the first time at his hometown of Bludeye Beach, and she finds a whole lot more there, including some friends, a really cute boy, and some really creepy stuff. It is a horror fantasy with a solid dash of romance. Edie leaves Bludeye at 15, comes back 10 years later at 25 to try and figure out what is wrong with Bludeye Beach.
I mean, it would be a spoiler for you to tell us what's wrong with Bludeye Beach. You have to get the book to find out what's wrong with Bludeye Beach.
That's why she ran away. She knew it was cats.
I know you had a cat on you. It's cats. It's always cats.
Always
Is it Beats?
But I'm very, very excited to be launching this book. I wrote the first draft in November 2023. And not to spoiler too much of our discussion, but it is one of the first books that I've ever taken this much of a distance with. Editing the full course in the first book I've written that I've really believed in. So this is pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited to get through. I've read previous drafts. I'm very excited to read like the final version.
This one's the good one.
Yeah. Actually, no, the fourth draft was the good one, and then you made it worse again.
Yeah, but then I decided, you know what, this is dumb. So the final draft 7, I made it good again. So.
Well, that. Thank you, Ellie, for sharing. Do we want to do a quick round robin of what everyone else is working on / reading right now?
Yes, please.
Would love to.
Sam, Queen Overlord Sam, what are you working on? Or
reading? So I'm finishing up the brainstorming of my necromancer story. Today I was fleshing out the actual romance arc for my main characters because I feel I want that to be a prominent part of the story as well. I'm not going to go full smut. I'm going to save that for our monster porn march. But I would like to have like a solid romance in there. So I was really kind of fleshing that arc out because I need to not forget that I want that. So
Absolutely.
I feel like we might need to provide some context about March because that's not an established thing for anyone who is not part of our writers group before.
Are you kidding? What? Not everyone celebrates Monster Porn March?
Well, they will now
The
because we're
most
going to tell them
magical
about
time
it.
of year?
So Monster Mash March, however we're still workshopping the name. We started this tradition a couple of years ago to push all of us to get out of our comfort zones a little bit. I mean, I think all of us have some element of romance and in our writing and like writing about romantic love, physical love can be a little daunting at first. So we gave ourselves this challenge. We literally rolled dice to see which monsters we had to include in our short story and then we each assigned each other buzzwords we had to use, and then we each wrote a short story, a short smutty story featuring lots of monsters having sex with each other. It was
They were
great.
supposed to be
And we
short.
do this every March. So we'll have to talk more about Monster Mash when we get to March. I think we'll have to have a special March Madness chapter to delve more into the joys and the um challenges of writing intimate scenes. But I will say, writing about having sex with Cthulhu definitely made it much easier for me to go back to my main work in progress and write like a light smooch. It's like, well, I can write this now. I've written about sex with Cthulhu. This is nothing.
And I am of course grateful to Monster Mash Madness because I couldn't write a short story, and I now have another book series about werewolves who can't get off each other. But that's not what I'm talking about today.
We'll do that another episode.
Yeah.
And they will too.
I'm still working on draft 2 of my current work in progress, which is still unnamed. I had a really lovely moment last writing session where I was like, I don't know what this scene is. I don't know what's happening. And I just went back to the beginning of the chapter and I reread it. I was like, oh, okay, this is what it needs. And then I finished writing that chapter and felt so much better about it. I felt like I found what it was missing. And so sometimes you just have to stop and take a breath and just go back a few pages. It's not linear.
No.
You have to trust your past self.
There you go. But all right, so our main story tonight, the main thing we're talking about, Ellie, it's your turn. We want to talk to you about your work in progress and about you. And it's very exciting since by the time people are hearing this, they will actually be able to read the book that you're talking about. But why don't we start with you just telling us and our friends a little about yourself and what you're currently writing. Give us the expanded version. You gave us the short elevator pitch. Give us the expanded version.
So the expanded version. So I'm Eliwood. And much like everyone here, I've been writing just about my entire life. Not like good stuff, but the heart was there.
How good can Les Mis fanfic really be?
None of us were writing good stuff when we started. That's not how you start.
I actually do have a memory of before I could even physically knew how to read and write. I think they were basically like fairy tale fan fiction, but I had a retelling of Miss Muffet, and I narrated it to our mom and had her write it down, and then I illustrated it. Also, not good pictures. I was not a talented 3-year-old, I guess. Which is why I am where I am now.
You know what?
But
I think you've improved.
Oh my God, thank you.
It's the nicest thing I ever said to you.
It literally is. I'm gonna cry about it later. Um, but I've always had my heart in fantasy. I've always had my heart in just exploring like dragons and swords and magic and all the exciting stuff. And um, I, I just kind of burned out, I think, a lot on it because
Mm.
it's very vulnerable to write about the things that you like. It's admitting that you like those things, which is to say, I always secretly wanted to have like a very cute little romantic subplot in almost every story that I had, but I was too shy to even like admit that I liked that kind of stuff. So, um, and then just life stuff. We all have life stuff, but November 2023, NaNoWriMo RIP. I had it was a I hadn't really written anything too seriously in a long time. Like I definitely started some stuff, couldn't stick with it. Um I'd been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, uh, which is a farming sim game slash adventure
Oh no,
game slash
I know.
okay, yeah, well I've
My
been playing
daughter
a lot
plays
of
it.
it. She has good taste. Um and, I grew up watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm a fan of the Dresden Files series, which is like, people have to deal with the spooky, scary things that no one else talks about. And Edie Grayson just kind of showed up um, as a hey, what if I'm just like your average teen girl who no special powers, no savior prophecy. I'm just going through some life stuff and then some weird stuff starts happening and I don't really know how to deal with it. And also like I have a crush on this boy. And uh she just kind of flowed onto the page. The story just kind of all came together, and it was like I was coming back to something that I'd been missing so much. I wasn't sure I'd even get to the 50,000 words. That first draft was, I think, 115,000 words in 30
Yeah.
days.
I
It
remember that. Yeah.
it was like I unstoppered something, and it was because I wasn't worried about writing something that I should be writing. I was like, I'm just gonna put all the things I like into this, and it turns out then I had fun writing it. So there's a lot of Buffy.
I
There's a
remember
lot
that
of
we did that NaNoWriMo together,
yeah.
and yeah, I think we had just started the writers group was it just with the intention of doing NaNoWriMo together.
I don't think so because there was another story that I hope to go back to at some point. Of a half fae girl who was dealing with a
Yes. Oh yeah, okay,
terrifying
I
father,
remember
and
that one.
I got that. I'm going back to that one someday,
You
but
should. That one was fun.
I enjoyed it. But I couldn't get in the right headspace to work on it. I don't think, but yeah, and I do credit Dungeons and Dragons, um, because I've been playing D&D for a long time, and I really love DMing, being the dungeon master, and part of that is because no one can tell me I'm not remembering the rules wrong. And also, it means you get to do all the homebrew world building stuff. Like you can say, I'm creating whatever world I want. And for 2 years prior to this, starting in 2021, I was running an entirely homebrewed world D&D campaign, and I loved building the world so much. I was like, I want to do that with Bludeye Beach too. Like, I'm a lot of my prep is just going to be building this weird, kooky little town, and that really worked for me because every time I was stuck somewhere, I'd say, okay, well, the characters need to go, they need to go somewhere. Oh, I already have the map of all the stores in Bludeye Beach because I'm an insane person and I already made it. And that just really helped my creative process.
Um, it's so interesting that you compare being a dungeon master to being a writer. Like, I feel like that is a big, the way you've talked about your process, it is a lot like being a DM, like the world building and I imagine there's a lot of appeal to being like, there's a lot of, the Venn diagram has a lot of overlap. What
It
appeals about being
really
a DM
does,
and what
yeah.
appeals about being an author. Like having
Yeah.
control, making the people do what you want.
I was speaking to another writer. I'm sorry, I know other writers. I'm so sorry. I was speaking to another writer about this. I know. And she described kind of a similar feeling to it. And the biggest difference is, as a DM, you're there to make sure like your players are able to do whatever they want to do, whatever experience they want to have. Like it's kind of your job to make sure they're having that experience. Which means getting to know your players and getting to know, okay, so you want a lot of big fights, but you want a lot of big puzzles. How do I combine that? How do I get you guys to go to the place where there's the fights and puzzles? And once I started creating my characters as like, okay, you need to be someone who's gonna be anxious but still go and try to find the monster. You need to be someone who's like really good at hiding secrets, but maybe you don't want to. Like, how do I build around you to give you that core personality? And then what do I need to have happen to make you do the things I want you to do? It is extremely like being a DM for Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
You talked a little about your like inspiration, but can you talk a little about your writing process itself?
Sure, yeah. It involves a lot of procrastination, a lot of sitting in front of an open document with my phone out playing a stupid game, um, and then somehow triggering something like a flow state and then getting it there. That's the very short version. The slightly longer version, which I will go into. I consider myself kind of a mix between a plotter and a planner. I'm a pantser. That's the word, not planner. Plotter and a planner are the same thing.
It's the same thing, yeah.
That's the same thing. Because, like I said, I tried to do all the like groundwork, world building stuff, but with the plot, with like some of the character stuff, it's a little bit easier for me to find that on the page. So I'll kind of go in with like, okay, I have a broad idea of what's going to happen in this book. And I have a really strong idea of what like the first opening piece is. So how do I go from there to where it needs to end? And I kind of have a vague shape of what the end will look like. And I kind of have to write to get to that point. Like I've kind of likened it to like running to a goal mark and then picking up the goal mark and throwing it ahead again, where I'll intensely plan for the first chunk. And then once I get to the end of that chunk, I start intensely planning again based on what I've already written, and then go to the next goalpost, and then just keep going that until we hit the finish line. I don't know what sport that is. I'm not a sports person.
You just invented a new sport, I think.
I did,
Or
actually.
I don't know.
It's going into my next D&D campaign.
Nice.
And you've invented Calvin Ball.
That's what I've done, yes. Me, no one else.
So you kind of talked about it, but are like other than D&D, are there any other non-literary inspirations that inspired this book for you?
The town of Bar Harbor, Maine.
Okay.
We spent many childhoods up there, and it's
We
one
spent
of the
many
places.
childhoods up there.
Many childhood weeks up there, weeks at a time.
There you go. That's the yeah.
I've had so many childhoods. I can't get into it now. We spent.
I feel like we should talk about your past lives.
They're not an influence to this book, weirdly. No, we've spent quite a bit of time vacationing up there, and it's kind of what I think about when I think about like what's like the ideal little like fantasy. Obviously, that's not what really living in a place is like, but you know, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? It's usually I think of Bar Harbor, Maine. I've always just wanted to be by the ocean. I love the way it's a really fairly small town physically, but it's still got so much just packed right into it. There's so much there. And it's just got this own quirky vibe. It's very aware of itself as a town, I feel like, and it's got a lot of personality in that way. And I kind of wanted to bring that to Bludeye. I want Bludeye to feel like as much of a character, good or bad, as any of the actual people ones.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I love reading books where the setting is a character, right? So it's like there are so many, and I'm terrible at description, so like I know this is like where I'm gonna struggle, but you know, and I love reading about authors who are very clear about that. They're like, I wrote this place to be like the main character. So it's like, you know, the people are the characters kind of, you know, living the plot, but it's really the location or the setting that's kind of the driving force, the driving character behind it. And I love reading that kind of story. So it's really cool that like that's kind of a big part of what you wrote for Bludeye Beach.
Yeah, there is no story without Bludeye. It's for better or worse. It is what it is.
Sam, do you know what your very important question is?
No, not yet. You have to go first.
All right. If your characters were stuck on a desert island,
Mm-hmm.
who would be the first one to suggest cannibalism, and how would they rationalize it?
The first. It's quite a wide cast of characters, so I think there's a. I'm going to narrow it to the 6 main characters, which is this friend group. There's Edie herself, Milo, her love interest, Milo's younger sister Viola, and Milo's best friend Manny, and then Milo and Viola also have 2 cousins, Kat and Alexandra. So those are like the 6 main characters are all these kids, and I think on a practicality side, Alexandra, the very Catholic one, would definitely have something to say about, well, it only makes sense.
Yeah. Is this like body of Christ kind of thing?
I think she's just a pragmatist. She's a very fun character to write. She has a very severe air even at 16, which is she hides a lot of that behind, she is very devout. Her twin sister Kat is not. But she also just has no tolerance for bullshit. Just she has no time for that. And then I slapped my laptop is what I did. That's how much tolerance. Yeah, it did. Alexandra just has no tolerance for that. Or my laptop.
Okay. It's fair.
I'm not starving to death when there's a solution right in front of me.
We're gonna die anyway, and then we'll just go to heaven. It's fine. Well,
it's fine.
Some of us will.
I'll repent it later.
Like, I don't think she would suggest killing anyone, but someone's gonna die soon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought of my very important question.
Okay.
What is Edie's favorite movie, and how many times has she watched it in her 25 years of living?
I love that question.
Sam, I am thanking you. I'm reaching across time and space to hold your hand and thank you, because this is actually a perfect segue for me to talk about. I already have the sequel written. It is in process. Ooh. And there is a very specific scene where we very clearly see Edie's favorite movie is Princess Bride. And it's definitely her comfort movie. And in 25 years of living, I don't think we can calculate. I think it's beyond 3 digits, honestly. For how many times you've seen
it. Excellent. Have you worked any Princess Bride references into the manuscript yet?
I have not. There has been some talk of if Edie and a certain love interest had a couple's costume, they might go as Wesley and Princess Buttercup.
Wesley. I assume Edie would be Wesley and
obviously.
Milo would be Buttercup.
Of course, yeah. It would definitely be a winning boyfriend points. Milo would definitely let her live out her childhood fantasy of being Princess Buttercup.
That'd be amazing.
I would laugh if it's Miracle Max and his wife.
That's 10 years from now.
My husband would actually go as Miracle Max and his wife.
You guys would knock it out of the park. Mm-hmm. And I would. Right? I'm pleading with you, please.
Maybe we will. I have this habit that I'm sure is really endearing, and I'm sure my husband loves it. But whenever we're watching something and a character says "as you wish," I whisper, "Oh, he loves her." And I think that people say that a lot more in British TV shows. Mm-hmm. Like it's just a more common saying in the UK. So we watch a lot of British TV and films. Like "as you wish," I'm like, "Oh, he loves him." And I think my husband might be sick of me doing that.
Why is he sick of you telling the truth? This is just a fact.
Mm-hmm. It's just, he said it, so.
You didn't write that.
Mm-mm.
It's just hard facts. The game we're going to play today. Oh, okay. The game we're going to play today is board game night. So, if your main character group I think it's good, Ellie, to just limit yourself to 6. And Sam, I don't know how many characters you want to limit yourselves to, but if you're main characters, we're going to have a board game night. What board game would they play and who would win?
Well, my main character would play Trivial Pursuit because all she does is just read all day, basically, because she's afraid to leave her house. And she would be more than happy to lay her knowledge down and kick your butt.
She would win against all comers.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ellie?
I feel like the cop-out answer is Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm going to challenge myself. And I'm going to say I do actually have. There was gifted to me some very lovely art of my characters playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I will see if I can also link that in the show notes. But to challenge myself a bit, I think that I'll let my characters play my current favorite game, which is Dominion, and Edie is in dead last, unfortunately. I think Milo tries to help her, and she's just too excited. She can't really grasp the strategy. And I'm pretty sure it's Viola, Milo's little sister, who sweeps the board.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's the quiet ones that really surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
What expansion are they playing?
I think that they thought it was funny to play the Nocturne expansion, the spooky, creepy one. But Edie, who is famously, she is a scaredy cat. She hates ghost stories. She hates the genre of book she's in. So I think that they took pity on her, and they're just playing the classic one.
Nice. Okay, that's the easiest one. I mean, for starting.
For starting.
All right. So this is also kind of a cop, but I was thinking my characters would play with a Ouija board. And the ghost that haunts the painting would definitely win because it would pick up the planchette and throw it across the room and hit someone in the head. So I don't think it would go well.
Do you know the meme of it's a giant book and it's this book, but then a smaller book that's this book if X character had a gun? Mm-hmm. I think that's your book of this is your book, but the small one is your book if the characters had a Ouija board.
They could have solved a lot of problems. What is your name? What is your deal? Would you mind leaving, please? Yes, great. And the book's over. Yeah, it'd be 2 pages long.
As you wish. Oh no, it's a romance again.
I love you. Oh man, yeah, no spoilers. I don't have any ghost smooching in this one.
Come on.
Maybe that'll be the next series.
I think
ghost smooching. I feel like I have ghosts and smooching, but not ghost smooching. I feel like other writers can and should write ghost smooching. I don't think that's my oeuvre.
You know what? I accept that. If it's not what's in your heart and your spirit and your soul, you just can't write it.
No. I'm not into ghost smooching. I'm into smooching near ghosts.
Oh, there you go.
Smooching. Ghost adjacent smooching. All right. Well, should we do some writing, guys?
I would love to do some writing.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're gonna do a 25-minute writing sprint. Folks should please join in and do work on your own project. And we'll see you back here in 25 minutes.
Awesome. See you in a bit.
And that's 25 minutes. We hope you had a productive writing or brainstorming session, and we would love to hear from you how it went. So please put in the comments how your project is progressing. We'd love to hear from you.
Please like, review, subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media. Links to everything are in the podcast description, including where you can get your copy of Bludeye Beach.
Yeah,
From Tree
Bludeye
to Book
Beach.
Writers Group is produced in partnership with Hook and Quill Press LLC, the publisher of Bludeye Beach. Yay! Please check out their socials as well.
And remember, wherever we are, we're writing together.
Bye!